Hey everyone, I am Tamara Makabanga. I am the founder and chief content officer at Alaking Creatives, a marketing agency with a strong emphasis on branding and creating content with a human touch. Now, you may or may not have heard of one of our product offerings, which is referred to as the Scope My Business. So it is a one-on-one consultation service in which I help you save time and effort and potentially money as we work together on executing the most uncomplicated marketing strategy. Okay, so SCOPE is an acronym that stands for the 6 Ones framework: convenience as an ROI, opposition, psychology of consumers, as well as exceptional content. And the SCOPE My Business marketing strategy model is pretty much built on firstly branding as well as creating content. So we're going to touch on those two aspects a lot as we go through this strategy. So the purpose of this video is to have a Scope My Business session for Alaking Creatives, just so that you can have sort of like a rough idea of how we're going to work together. Now, I've never done like a video or like actually written down any scope for Alaking Creatives. I've got a rough idea in my mind, but I've never actually written it down. Now, I just want to make two things very, very clear before we get into that. First of all, this session is going to only be like an hour-ish for me to actually do it. The video is probably much shorter, but that's because I already have a rough idea of how I could scope Alaking Creatives and I have been doing it. And secondly, I wanted to know that you will not find this marketing strategy anywhere else. Like if you find another agency that has the strategy, they copied it from us. Okay, let us get into it. Alright, so the S stands for the 6 Ones framework. So this is really a concept that we have adopted from an individual called Clay Collins. He is the founder and was the CEO of a company called Lead Pages. And Clay Collins stipulated that business success is achieved when companies are bold enough to choose one product or service, market it to one target audience through one traffic source, using one conversion method, and doing all of this for 1 year. Now, Alaking Creatives, because we are creative and we love content, we decided to add an additional one, which is your main content piece. So this is something that you will be working on either weekly, if not daily, so you can bring value to your audience, because we are, you know, big on content marketing. So what would the 6 Ones framework look like for Alaking Creatives? And Clay Collins called it the 5 Ones framework, so we had to add a little spice to it. So our 6 Ones framework, let's start with our product. Okay, so one thing about the product that you need to understand is that, you know, it doesn't matter if you've got 10 different product ideas and service offerings, you still have to create a 6 Ones framework for each of those products. That's the really interesting thing and cool thing about it. So Alaking Creatives, we've got 2 marketing services that are separate. So we've got the done for you and the done with you. So Scope My Business, what we're doing here is the done with you service, and then we have a done for you service, and we've got a completely different scope and, you know, yes, a completely different scope and 6 Ones framework for that product offering as well. So with the scope, for Scope My Business, so we're calling it the Scope My Business one-on-one consultations. Okay, so that is our main product offering. And then our target audience. So the target audience for Scope is startups, individuals, though they've only been in business for roughly like 0 to 24 months, so they're still in the beginning phase of their business, so startups. We also work with individuals that have had a business for like more than 2 years or so, but they have been operating offline and now they want to move online. So businesses looking to digitize. because a lot of what I do is digital marketing. So if you are a business that wants to do like offline marketing, I can't help you. I am all about digital marketing. So I am looking to help startups that are looking to go the digital marketing route, as well as businesses that have been in business but are now looking to digitize, because hey, look, everyone is going the digital route now. We've seen with COVID, like we need the internet and all of that. So yeah, startups, business looking to digitize. And I also work with individuals like influencers and network marketers. So network marketers and influencers. So these are people that they don't really have their own products and they are looking to sell other people's products, either through network marketing, affiliate marketing, as well as getting sponsorships from other brands. So I help like network marketers and influencer marketers set up their personal brand in such a way that they can be extremely profitable. Okay, so yeah, those are the main groups of individuals that I have. So that's my target audience. Look, we can go a little deeper with the target audience, and I would suggest that you do. So I am looking mostly to help individuals that, you know, they have been struggling. So struggling to build an online brand. I look to help individuals that, you know, they are solopreneurs. So they are the ones doing all of the work in the company. They hardly have anyone else helping them out. They are the ones, you know, pushing the brand, pushing the product, pushing the marketing. They're really doing everything. So they need something that is going to help them keep their focus while still building their brand. Because with marketing, there is so many different things that you can do. There are so many ways that you can market your business. And if you are going to try every little thing all on your own, you are going to fail. Like, I'm not even being like weird and funny about it. You will fail if you try and be everything to everyone. And that is why the Scope My Business strategy is so important for solopreneurs, so that you're able to focus on your core business and still focus on your marketing and only a certain aspect of your marketing, so you're not overwhelmed. Okay, another thing that I am looking to help are individuals that are looking to be the face of the company. So I'm looking for some people that are the face of the company. You are the face of the company. You are the one that is creating the content, and that way you do save money. So like I said, we work with startups, so individuals that have not, like, you know, made a whole lot, they're not making millions just yet. So you don't really have that much money to spend on, you know, other influencers and other brand ambassadors. You don't have money to spend much on advertising. So I am looking to help individuals that, you know, are willing to be the face of the company, because that is going to save you costs. So you need to save costs. So this is all part of the target audience. You need to get really focused on, you know, the psychographics as well as the demographics of your customers. So demographics for me would be things like, you know, they are based in South Africa, SA, in the main provinces, or main cities, like the big cities, so Cape Town, Joburg, as well as, you know, Durban. So the reason why I'm looking for those companies, because they most likely have access to internet, they most likely have, you know, they want to be in the limelight. They are aware of like things like social media. They probably have more money to spend on social media than someone that is, you know, from like a small little town. So I am a little biased, I know, but for my target audience, I have to get crystal clear on who I am speaking to. Okay, and then another demographic could be females. I don't mind working with males, but as I create my content, I do so as if I'm speaking to females and females only, because, you know, you need to be able to connect with your target audience. So they need to feel like, okay, this person is speaking to me and me alone. So you can't just be like, hey everyone, you know, just like make sure like, hey ladies, I know you are hustling, I know you're grinding, and I am here to help you grind even harder. So you can feel the difference between that. And so like people want to know like you're speaking to them. Okay, so I'm doing females. They are most likely in their like 25 to early 30s, let's say 34. And you know, they can have kids. Look, I got a baby, but you know, I am all over social media, so they may have kids, but you know, they're most likely single, so they are able to focus on their hustle, focus on their grind 110%. And again, when you're creating a target audience or customer avatar for your business, you have to get crystal clear on who you are talking to, so that the content that you create will be directed at them and will not be too generalized. Look, anyone that sees the potential of your business and see how it can help them, even though they don't match your typical customer avatar, they will still reach out to you. A lot of the times people are afraid to, you know, make use of a customer avatar because they think that, okay, now I'm cutting out so many people from my business, whereas this is just to help you create content and not to cut anyone off. If a male who's in his 40s approaches you, you are still able to say, yes, I can help you, obviously, if you can. Okay, so yeah, I think that's pretty much like a fair customer avatar for me. Okay, so moving on to our traffic source. My traffic source will be LinkedIn, and I will be using my personal profile as well as my company page. Okay, so the reason why I am doing this is for with LinkedIn, it's like you're still able to gain a whole lot of organic traffic, so you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of rands on advertising. You are able to get onto LinkedIn today and build your personal brand. The company page is a little more difficult to grow, like doesn't have like that organic build to it, but a personal page, like I started LinkedIn, like seriously focusing on LinkedIn just over a year ago. So towards the end of 2019, that's when I got onto LinkedIn, and I've literally grown from about, I think when I started I had like less than 50 people, because the last time I was on LinkedIn was back in varsity. So I just started the account, invited a couple of people in my, you know, at school, and then like that was it. I just left it at that. And then last year, pretty much, so late 2019, I got onto the platform again, and I literally grew from less than 100 to over 5,000 people in 1 year. So you are able to get onto LinkedIn and build your brand really quickly, especially your personal brand, and then, you know, direct them to your company page and inform them about your products and services. And it does not matter what you're selling. A lot of the time people think, you know, LinkedIn is it's like too professional, it's too strict, but there are people that are selling B2C products on the platform as well, and you can too. However, if you are a B2C brand and you're looking to gain organic traffic, you need to be on TikTok like today. Okay, like open a TikTok account today, because with TikTok, much like LinkedIn, you are able to build your personal brand. Even if you start with 0 followers, you are able to reach a wide audience and gain followers organically just by being on that. However, if you want to be on Facebook and Instagram or Snapchat or Twitter, you will have to pay for advertising, or else you will fail and you'll be creating content, putting out content, but you'll be speaking to no one, because the algorithm of those other platforms are so large. There's so many people creating content on those platforms already that yours will not be seen, my dear. I am super sorry to let you know that. If you think that you're going to be the next Instagram star and you've got 0 followers today, you will not build an organic audience within the next 12 months, 2 years, 3 years even, you know, without, yeah, you can't not pay for advertising. If you're looking to gain organic traffic, LinkedIn and TikTok is your friend. LinkedIn, especially if you're a B2B business like myself, or if you're a B2C business, get onto TikTok. Okay, so I've got my links in my personal and company prof page. So another thing that I want you to know with the traffic source is, because you're only doing one traffic source for this one business or this one product, you have to make use of all of the elements of that platform. A lot of times people will want to be on Instagram and on LinkedIn and on Twitter, and then they're only creating like one post per platform. Whereas if you focus all your attention just on one, you're able to get onto LinkedIn, you're able to post to your feed, stories. If you get enough followers, you can do lives. You can, like I said, you can join groups. You can write articles on LinkedIn. So there are a variety of ways that you can make use of just that one platform in order to build your business. So that is what you do. Don't just be on LinkedIn just to create, posts in the feed. You need to be using all of the different features of that platform in order for you to succeed. Okay, and then the same applies if you're on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you are. I feel like TikTok is not really one thing that you can do. I've not checked it out in a minute, so I think I should definitely update my skill set on that. Remind me, please. Okay, so I think you got a good idea on my traffic source. So moving on to the conversion method. Okay. So conversion method is pretty much how do you convert your audience or like people, leads coming through into paying customers. So there are a variety of different ways that you can convert leads and your audience into customers. So you can do email marketing, you can do webinars, you can do podcasts. It does not matter. Like you just have to focus on one thing and like go all in on that. So last year, my conversion method for the Scope My Business sessions were a little different, and I felt like it was not completely working for me. So this year I decided, see, just do webinars. Go for it, go all out and create webinars. And what I will be doing this year is I am doing some webinars just as Alaking Creatives, as well as some webinars where I'm partnering up with other businesses and other individuals, so that we can all come together, have like a huge masterclass, sort of speak, and we all sell our different products. Webinars, solo and collabs. So that is what I'm doing. I've actually got a webinar coming up. It's going to be my first webinar for the year. It's with a company called it's by Hussein Patel, but it's called Hussein Patel Business. So we are partnering up to create a webinar masterclass, and we are all going to be talking about different topics, but still fall under the same sort of large umbrella to serve as many people as possible. Okay, so webinars will be my conversion method. So when it comes to conversion method, you have to also think of all of the things that are going to be involved with getting you that conversion method. So with me, I need to be thinking of which platform I'm going to use. I want to use Go Brunch instead of Zoom. It's just a little different, a little unique, and it allows you to have larger sessions than Zoom meetings does. And Zoom webinars is quite expensive, and as like my target audience, what I would like to do is I want to create I want to make use of platforms that are either very, very affordable or they're completely free, because I'm working with startups. I am working with people that do not have like large bank accounts right now. So I do test out different platforms and different apps and tools that will be resourceful to you, but it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. So Go Brunch is completely free for up to 400 attendees, so that is absolutely amazing. Whereas with Zoom, like the standard plan, so just after free, you can have 100 people coming in, but it's like $300 a month to have 100 people coming through. Whereas with Go Brunch, completely free. No brainer type of vibes. So yeah, okay, Go Brunch, I need to be setting up a Mailchimp account. I love Mailchimp. It's one of my favorite email marketing tools. It's really easy to use, so that's why I love using it. It's really easy to use, really simple, plain straightforward, and it is not that expensive to get like a standard plan. The premium offers are more expensive, but yeah, the standard plan, which is really what you're going to need, is super easy. So with Mailchimp you can create email newsletters, you can do registration sign-ups for your for the actual webinar. So you can get registrations, landing pages type of vibes. With the webinar, you don't really need much equipment, so it's just the platform that you're going to use. You can create like presentations using either PowerPoint, what I like to use is Canva. It's one of those apps. You can download it from the App Store. It is really affordable if you're getting the paid plan. It's like $130 per month, whereas the free option is still gonna get you like, you know, what you need to do, but you won't be able to access a lot of the images on there. You won't be able to access a lot of the templates on there, and like just going for the whole app, like you making use of the premium option is just so much better. And like you'll see. Okay, so yeah, that is pretty much what you need if your conversion method is a webinar like mine. So what we'll be doing when we are talking with you, if you have got a different idea for your conversion method, so if for instance you want to, you know, create an ebook and then have people download the ebook in exchange for the email addresses and send them consistent emails, we're going to work out a conversion method that works best for you. And what I like to do is I like to try and figure out like, how do you operate? What are your strengths? I'm great with video. I love talking. I love being in front of the camera. However, I know that other people, they might not be so comfortable on video just yet, and they prefer to have like a written document. They prefer doing audio. So I'll work with you based on what you are comfortable with, but still getting you the results that you need. Okay, but you know, you will have to build a little bit of confidence, you know, once we start working together, and I will like share a lot of tools to help you do that, so that you can finally get comfortable with creating videos and officially, fully being the face of your business. Okay, so let us move on to one main my main content. My main content idea. The reason why I'm pausing a little bit is because I have been like stuck trying to figure out, okay, so what should my main content idea be this year? Over the past couple of months, I've been doing two main content ideas. So the first one is my live sessions on LinkedIn. I do that like pretty much weekly. And then the second one is my YouTube. It's a video series that's on YouTube. It's called the 50 Digital Technology Solutions that every business needs. And the live one was called What Would Alaking Creatives Do? So this year, I am looking to switch up both of those. I'm getting rid of both of them. So this thing, man, is just the problem with someone that creates a lot of content. You've got a whole lot of content ideas. So it kind of gets like a little puzzling, like what should the main thing be? So give me a moment to officially think, because when I work with you on your scope, we are going to sit there together and decide, okay, so what is the main content thing going to be? So like I said, I've not really fully thought about this whole scope thing for Alaking Creatives, even though I've got a rough idea, like it's not fully fledged yet. Okay, so main content idea team, just decide, go for it. What's the worst that could happen? Okay, so should the thingy be, because I've got an idea for my live and it's in partnership with other marketers, and it is exclusively focused on marketing rather than digital technology, which is the main customers that I service. Even with even with the scope, even with the done for you services, I work only with digital technology brands. And when I'm doing like the whole scope service, I'm looking to work with individuals that are looking to, you know, become a digital to have a digital offer, so to speak, if that makes sense. So if you're someone that is, let's say for example, you are an accountant, we're going to help you figure out, you know, how can you make use of digital technology to service your clients better, so that you are able to, you know, just be more efficient and eventually scale your business, so that you are not the person doing the physical work all day every day, because you can hire people to work on the technology and service your customers in that way. So that is the idea that I'm going with. Should I do the lives for thingy? Just decide and go with it. The lives do a live session. So it's going to be in my personal profile. Do a live session, personal profile. The idea is to call it King Talks. And it is like sharing marketing knowledge. It's really about sharing marketing knowledge. So I am collaborating with other marketers. One thing you need to know about collaborating with other people is that it can slow you down. You will most likely create better content, but it's going to slow you down because, you know, not everyone has time to work on your project. They've got their own things to deal with. And I found with the 50 digital technology solutions, like, it has been such a headache, you know, trying to find people that are available right now and they're keen to do the show with me, because like I said, people are busy. So, you know, it gets a little difficult. So you have to think about those things when you are creating your scope and when we are creating our scope. So if you're looking to collaborate with other individuals, just know that finding those individuals will be difficult. However, the content will be 10 times, if not 20 times better. So just one of those things that you have to think about. Okay, am I done? Yeah, personal profile, to the King Talks. So what is going to happen is, because the live session is on whatchamacallit, say the thing's name, it is on my personal profile. I will have to download the video and then send it to the company page. The recording, send to company page, so that individuals can view it at a later stage whenever they like. So, because a lot of people will miss the live session, I've noticed that. But I love doing lives. It really pushes me beyond, like, you know, because doing a video is so much easier. You can pause whenever you want to. You can delete a video. But with the live session, if you make a mistake, it's embarrassing and you just have to move on immediately, but it really pushes you as an individual, as an entrepreneur. So I would suggest, no matter what platform that you're on, try and do lives, because that is really going to build your character and make you stronger and tougher to deal with anything that comes your way. Because hey, entrepreneurship is difficult, girl. It is a struggle. Okay, like, if you think that this, if you think this is a luxurious lifestyle, we chose this for the luxury, you have got it so wrong. We chose this because hey, we like a challenge, and if you like a challenge as much as I do, go do a live. You'll see. Okay, so 1 year, I really plan on fully focusing on this idea starting March, or like towards the beginning of April. So April 2021 all the way until March 2022. So remember what I said, Clay Collins said that you have to do all of this for 1 year. So you are not allowed to quit in September, just because like things are just tough right now. You just have to push yourself and, you know, like just continue going. Like with the 50 digital technology solutions, honestly, I wanted to quit at least 2 months ago. I was like, this ish is tiring, but I already made a decision that, hey, I'm going to push myself until the end of, you know, this term, this 1 year term, as well as until I get those 50 videos, or else, you know, like, that's just how it works. Like, you can't just stop yourself just because you're tired. You can't just stop yourself. You can't just change your mind just because, you know, things are not going as planned. You have to continue pushing on for an entire 12 months. Can we do that? Yes, we can. Okay. So yeah, and just like that, my 6 Wands framework is done for Alaking Creatives. And like I said, like with you and I, we will probably take a little more time on this, because we're going to have to figure out, you know, the product perfectly. We will have to figure out, you know, your conversion method and what works well for you. And like, this took me only about like 20 minutes, but for you and I, it might take like up to 45 minutes just to do this section. So, but yeah, I am happy with it. let us move on to the C, which is convenience as an ROI. Convenience. Okay, so with regards to convenience as an ROI, okay, so this is really something that I thought about when I realized that a lot of businesses cannot provide a financial ROI, including like these one-on-one consultations. I can't tell you that, hey, within the next 5 months, you are going to be, 60,000 Rand richer. It's literally impossible to do that with a lot of businesses. With my done for you services, I can offer financial ROI because I'm the one physically putting in the work to run those business, to run like the marketing for the business. So when it comes to convenience as an ROI, I've realized that in as much as you're not able to promise your audience a financial ROI, you can promise them that if you work together, their lives is going to be so much easier. So that is where the convenience comes in. So you might not be able to make them 10 times richer in the next year, but you are able to make their lives more convenient. You are able to, save them time. You are able to save them money, effort. You are able to save them, doing all the work exclusively by themselves. Whereas if they work with you, you've already done a lot of the work, so it makes things so much easier for them. And then when it comes to physical products, there are 10 factors that make up a convenience of a physical product. So within the scope of my business session, if we're working together, I will take you through those 10 things. And then when it comes to services, so like Alaking Creatives, we're a service-based company. Yes, we're a service-based company, just generally speaking. So with this, there are 5 factors that contributes to whether or not a service is fully convenient. So this is something that I researched. It took me a minute, but I finally found the 10 items that customers generally look for when they're trying to figure out if a product is going to be convenient, and then the 5 things that customers generally look for to figure out if a service is going to be convenient for them, even if it doesn't guarantee a major financial return. Okay, so the nice thing about Alaking Creatives is that if you do marketing, it's going to guarantee a financial return, but I can't give you a definite number to it. So that is why I have to focus on the convenience aspect of it. Okay, so another thing that we want to know is with the convenience as an ROI, it's also going to help you. It's going to help you create content for your business and promote it better, because you're able to tell your clients that, hey, look, I've got these 10 factors that this product of mine offers, or maybe you've only got 9 factors, or 8, for instance. So let's say they are, like I said, we're going to go through all those 10 together when we work together. So let's say 2 of them are not convenient in terms of your product, but you can still say, hey, I've got these 8 different points, these 8 different benefits if you buy my product, which is absolutely amazing. And I know that a lot of people struggle when it comes to thinking about, what are all the benefits of my product, what are all the benefits of my services. It's great, but you just don't understand how can you list it so that other people are also interested in it. And that's why doing this whole convenience as an ROI session is going to be so beneficial to you. Another thing that I did with my convenience as an ROI, remember at the beginning of this video, I told you that Alaking Creatives will help you save time, money, effort as we work together on, as we work together on executing the most uncomplicated marketing strategy. That is something that I pretty much extracted from my convenience as an ROI work. So it's going to help you position yourself better and explain yourself better and make your ideal customer see that, okay, this is something that I definitely need. Okay, so let me just write down the 5 points of convenience. And something that I found with my services is that they tick all of those 5 boxes. But you know, like I said, as long as you can have for the services, you have to have at least 4 out of 5 of those boxes. If you don't, we're going to work together on, you know, trying to get it to 4 or 5. So if you're like on 2 or 3, we'll work together to get you 4 or 5. And then for the products, you have to be at least like a 7 or 8 out of 10. If you're below that, we work together on how can we make this product even more convenient for your audience. Okay, so 5 points of convenience. What's the other one again? I wrote it down on another sheet of paper. I think it's on my phone. So but yeah, I'll get to that. But at least like you get an idea of how convenience as an ROI is going to work. This is probably going to be one of the shortest sessions, especially if you've got a really good product offering already. And like I said, if you don't, we're going to work together, boo, and make your product offering even better. Okay, so we can definitely move over to opposition. Whew. So opposition really refers to your competition. Now, a lot of people think that, you know, competitions are something that you need to focus on, like they are doing their things. We are not in competition. I'm doing my own thing. I've got my own ways. But you've got competition out there, you know. You might not be a streaming platform, but Netflix is your competition because everyone's attention, you know, is limited. So you are in competition with every single person and company and individual out there that is creating content online. However, you need to focus on, you know, your niche and, you know, what your business is really focused on. So you always have competition. You might not, you know, be like physically in competition with them. They might even know you, all that. However, you've got competitors, and that is something that you cannot deny. So when we do our scope sessions, it's either you already know who your competitors are, or we're going to sit down together and start Googling and seeing and going through social media to see who or which companies are doing something very similar to what you want to do. So when we find, so we're going to try and find like 3 to 5 companies or competitors and look at, you know, where are they located. So are they in South Africa? Perhaps you've got a digital platform and your main competition is in another country. Like my main competition, so people that are doing especially for the done for you services, they're actually in London, so they are doing exactly what I want to do type of vibes, but they're in London and not South Africa. And I was told that no, you can't focus on people in London, you focus on South Africans only. However, within the digital space, people are connected so easily. Like most of my clients right now, they are based in the States. I don't have clients in, like, for the done for you services, they are based in the States. I don't have clients in South Africa. So you need to think, you need to, especially when you're a digital product and platform, your competition can be anywhere in this world, which is a big struggle, but still at an advantage, because again, that means that your ideal customer can be anywhere in the world as well, and that means more money for you. Okay, so you have to think, where are they located? So how long have they been in business? If you can find out how much money they're making, you know, you need to find out their strengths and weaknesses. You need to think about, you know, what are their target audience? So are they really targeting your audience, or do they just sell a product and service that is similar to yours, but they've got a different customer avatar? And to think about, where are they? Are they on social media? Are they offline? Are they on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn? Where are they positioned? You know, look at things like, what are the obvious advantages and disadvantages just by looking at their social media profile, just by looking at their website. Can you tell, okay, this is something they're really, really good at and I'm not that good at? Or can you tell that this is something that they're really terrible at and I am looking to fix that with my products and services? And then there's sometimes, like, you might have a very niche product or service or solution. So you've got something that is completely new, completely unique, and nobody else on the market has what you have right now. However, you still have competitors. Even if nobody else is selling your exact product or service or solution, you still have competitors, because whatever problem you are fixing, somebody already is making use of an alternative product or service to fix that problem. It might not be as great and as effective as yours, but they are making use of that solution. So you need to understand what that solution is and why they choose to work with that solution, because remember, people are very slow to adopt to change. So even if you've got the best product or service out there that is really new and unique and can solve their customers' problems really easy, you still have to convince them to change from their old method of doing things to your new method. So you have to look into what are those substitute products so that you are able to understand them better. And then finally, you have to, working with all of that information, you have to see how can you position yourself as completely unique and different and perhaps better. So there's something called, I'm not sure if you've heard of this, but the blue ocean strategy. And if you've never heard of that, really roughly, it is an idea that, within the market, everyone is in a red ocean. So they're selling products and services in the exact same way to the exact same people. So they're fighting for the same sort of, they're fighting for the same market. They're fighting, trying to get money out of the same people. And because they've got like products and services that are exactly the same. So with the blue ocean strategy, you need to look at like who's in the red ocean, what are they doing, how are they doing it, and figure out how you can position yourself as different and better so that now you can be in a blue ocean. And that is why like working on the opposition and working on your customer avatar is so important, because with the blue ocean strategy you can say, hey, look, most of my competitors are focused on their customer avatar, but hey, our product and service has been uniquely designed for this customer segment or this audience. So that is what the blue ocean strategy is ideally about. So what you do is like draw an axis, like double axis over there, and figure out what are two things that you want to be known for and that is different from your competitors. So for Alaking Creatives, we've told ourselves that, okay, we've looked at our competition, and so most of them, first of all, they are low priced. So there are a lot of competitors out there that are offering what we're offering, well, something very similar. So they've got a marketing strategy and they are fairly low priced. And and that is something that they kind of win at. However, what I found is, as I was working with clients, like offering them a high value product, one, they're gonna first of all think that, okay, this is something that is really good, so it works on their psychology. Secondly, it is really good, so it's not just psychology. My services are great. Secondly, though, I found that even when I sell something at a low price, the people don't pay attention to it. So they feel like, I just spent $100 on it, so I don't really need to focus that much of my time and energy on it. If people don't pay, they don't pay attention. So we've told ourselves that we're going to offer a high value product instead of a low value product. And we've worked really hard to make sure that the value that you get from that is worth the price. And I've had times where I was offering like really ridiculously low prices, and then I'd call back my clients like, hey, how you doing? How's your work doing? Like, are you creating content? And then they'd be like, yeah, I'm still trying this. Like, they make excuses. And I found that, it is because they don't really mind the fact that they've just wasted 100 Rand. Like, it's okay for them. Like, it's not a big deal type of vibes. So I have said, I just price my products extremely high so that when people work with you, they come in with an attitude that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to work my behind off in order for me to get my money back. And you will get your money back if you put in the work. If you do exactly what I show you within the strategy, you are going to make your money back, guaranteed. Okay, so with us, our blue ocean is in the sector where it is high value. And then the second one, it is, so most of our other competitors, they are very technical in nature. So they've got a marketing strategy. They show you the steps on how to implement things. They show you how to do social media, show how to do blogs, show how to do SEO and all of that. So they are very technical in nature. And I found that, that is great and all. Like, we offer technical services like the scope strategy. It's very technical in nature. However, we decided that we also want to be synergistic. So synergistic means that we offer a combination of different services and ideas and concepts and put them together so that you can get a greater result. So whereas other marketers only focus on the technical aspects of your marketing, we also include the psychological aspects of the marketing. So we include the psychology of your customers instead of just like trying just to figure out like all the best practices of marketing. So you try and figure out your customer, like what is their psychology, like how can we, you know, sell and position ourselves better for them. We also help you in your own psychology. Like I said, entrepreneurship is extremely difficult, and I know that. So a lot of the times I create like a way for you to build your confidence as an entrepreneur, build your, you know, your self-esteem. When things are tough, you know, you will find a way through working with me in order to, you know, boost your confidence and boost your energy levels, because I've got a synergistic product offering, rather than just saying, hey, do the marketing, these are all the steps, and assuming that, you know, you just need those steps in order for you to win. Marketing, like just knowing marketing alone is not going to make you succeed in business. You need to be motivated. You need to be confident to sell your products. You need to be, you know, telling yourself that, hey, I'm going to do, you need to be persistent. You need to be grinding all day and night. Not all day and night, but, you know, you need to put in a lot of hard work in order to make this happen. And because we understand that as an entrepreneur myself, I also offer that as part of like my marketing consultation, like the scope services. So it's not under the scope, but like as we work together, I will be pushing you to, you know, put out content, do the work, put in the effort, so that the technical advice that I give you actually does play out. So within my opposition, so within my blue ocean, I am in that quadrant of the high product offering that is synergistic, whereas I know for a fact that a lot of my competition is in the other quadrant where they offer high value product, but it is still extremely technical, or they offer a low product but it's still very technical. And I've not found competitors that are synergistic and low priced. So perhaps that can be a market that you can go into if you're looking to become a marketing consultant. But no, I've set myself up as that, and there are a whole variety of different ideas and concepts that you can play with. You don't have to just think of the price. You don't just have to think of the technicality of what you're offering. So when we work together, we're going to see, based on your competitors, how can we position yourself as different and better, and come up with 2 different concepts for your quadrant to position you as different. So I hope that makes a whole lot of sense. I'm going to try and write all of that down. So what did I say again? Okay, so like I mentioned, I already know who my competitors are, and I've already had a thorough look at what they're doing and how they're doing it. And within our consultations, if you don't know who your competitor is, rather, we're going to go onto Google and find them immediately. Or like if you already know, then we can immediately jump into, you know, looking at their different strengths and weaknesses and positioning you within your blue ocean. Okay, but yeah, let's just write blue ocean over there, and then we can move over to our next section, which is psychology of consumers. Blue ocean, synergistic, and what did I say? High value product. Again, when you do all of this work, you are able to also sell yourself better. So again, it plays into your content. Like, you know, so you can tell people, hey guys, and when our competition is like this and this, our competition is high valued and technical, but we are now synergistic and high value. So you're able to create content based on all of this work, so you're able to position yourself, market yourself, and create better content for your customer. Okay, let us move on to psychology. Okay, so in terms of the psychology of consumers, okay, so human beings, and your customers are human beings, not just people that you take money from. So they've got 6 basic human needs, and that includes the need for certainty, the need for variety, the need for significance, the need for growth, the need for love and connection, and finally the need for contribution. So in terms of your business, in terms of your branding, in terms of your content, you need to feed into those needs of your customers. You need to feed into those needs of those humans that you are dealing with. You don't have to feed all of those needs, but you need to try and find a combination of like how you can position yourself in order for you to feed those needs. Okay, so with Alaking Creatives, so we feed on, we are able to feed the need for certainty. So we create content like on a weekly, even daily basis right now. So that every time you come to my company page, you will find the content on that page. You'll know that every day you've got something new to learn on the company page. So I've got this strategy right now where I've turned my company page into an educational hub. So for anyone that is looking to get a variety of different marketing advice from digital marketing, the technology, the how to do webinars, podcasts, videos, how to do B2B marketing, because that's like my core focus. So that every week when you come to my company page, every day when you come to my company page, that you're going to get educated on some aspect of marketing. And I've already created the framework and sent it to my customers at the beginning of the year when I started this, and told them, hey, for the next 13 weeks, this is what you're learning, come through and join. And for a fact, every week you're gonna get that. So in terms of your content as well, and your business just in general, you need to create that certainty. So customers need to know that every time they either come to your company page or website, even chatting to you on WhatsApp, they know that they're going to get a certain service from you, and there's no fail about it. So they know that let's say you're selling products, for instance, they know that every time they buy your product, it's going to arrive within the next 3 days, and you're not going to take 2 weeks to deliver that product. So you need to create and feed into that certainty. And like I said, that is how we do it with our educational hub. We've already set out a layout of how we're going to educate our customers over the next not even customers, our audience, over the next 13 weeks. We're in week 8 now as I'm creating this video. I'm excited about that. And after the 13 weeks, I'm going to create a new sort of schedule in terms of educating them. So it's something different, but still builds on what they learned previously. Okay, so certainty. So we've got, let me just write there, company page, educational hub, with weekly, actually daily content. Okay, and again, you need to push yourself. There's you can't just say, this week guys, I am tired, I am drained, I have a lot going on in my personal life. Your customers don't care about that. They want to know that when you say you're going to do something, you do it. That's it. Okay, then the need for variety, and this is why creating content is so important, because you don't have to talk about the same thing over and over again. Okay, so variety can feed into the business itself, or into the into your content. So let's say for your business, let's say you're selling products, you can't just sell one item. And they're it can work, but people love variety. You need to feed into your consumer psychology. They want to know that, when they come to your company website, they don't just go there for a bottle of juice. They can get juice and chips and yogurt and whatever not. So they want to, you don't have to have 10,000 different items, but you still have to have a variety of different items, because people love that. They want to know that they can come to you and they can get more than one thing from you. This works for products, this works for services as well. And that is why I had to create this consultation service. Initially, I just worked with the done for you services, so I just do your marketing for you. And I was like, no man, people want a little bit of variety. They want to know that, hey, they don't just get the done for you services from me, they can work with me in other ways. And that's why I created this done with you one-on-one consultations, because I understand that the people I'm dealing with need variety. Okay, so variety of services. And then in terms of the content, so when we work together, like I said, on whichever social media platform that you have, you need to think of how you're going to create content for each feature of the platform. So with us, we've got LinkedIn, so we create content for the company page, we create content for my personal page, we create content for our stories, we create content for the articles, stories for what else? I'm not a part of groups. I'm thinking of joining groups, and I'm like, do I have to? Like, it's not 100% must, but it can definitely boost your business. So yeah, I think I should. Come on, push yourself. So you have to be on those platforms, but you have to make use of all of those different features and create different pieces of content for those different features. You can't just be creating you can't just create content for your feed and then copy and paste that to your IGTV, and then copy and paste that to your reels, copy and paste that to your stories. Like, it's not going to work really. So you have to think of different pieces of content that you can create for every feature of that social media platform. And if we work together, I'll help you figure out what you're going to put under each of those different features. I'll help you figure out your IGTV. I'll help you figure out your reels. I'll help you figure out your main feed content. I'll help you figure out your stories. I'll help you figure out what you can talk about on live, so that when people come to you, they can get a variety of different content, but it still feeds into like your main services or your main product and your brand. Okay, so variety of content, that's what we got. Okay, the need for significance. Okay, so people need to feel like they are important. They need to feel special. They need to feel like, you are dealing with them and them alone. And I don't really have something like concrete for the done with you service. I've got something significant about the done with you, service. So with that, I tell my customers, hey, if we work together, we are partners. So I'm not just here to just do your marketing and bounce. I am here to make sure that you make money, like the return on investment is guaranteed type of vibes. And like I said, I honestly can't think of how I can make you feel more special than, just going through the scope with you and making sure that I'm not just copy and pasting the scope for Alaking Creatives onto I'm not going to tell you, hey, you have to do a webinar. I work with you and say, okay, how are you different? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And we work around those. So I guess that can be significant. Work with the individual to give them a customized experience. Okay, then the need for love and connection. Okay, so people want to feel love, people want to feel connection, and that is why building a community through your business is so important. You don't just try and sell you to your audience. Don't just use them. Like, the people don't want to feel like they're being used. They want to feel like they are part of something bigger and better. And having those webinars or doing like a weekly show, doing a weekly Q&A where you invite your audience in to ask you anything to help them, that is definitely something that's going to build a connection with them. Okay, so I am thinking right now, the need for love and connection. Perhaps that is being built through my company page. So with the company page, I am dealing with servicing and bringing value to you. So I have like a whole variety of different educational topics, and I'll show you how to do, how to build webinars, how to be on LinkedIn, how to manage your social media. I'll give you like full on advice, like you don't have to pay me for anything type of vibe. So I guess I am building a community in that sense. I am still growing. Like I said, like building a company page is a little difficult. So I have built sort of a community through my personal page, but I want to separate that from my company type of vibe. So I don't want to just be like, okay, I am building community on my personal page, and that's fine. So I guess the need for love and connection is going to be built through the company page, as I am bringing you value through education. Okay. So for you, you can perhaps start a private group. Perhaps you can do like, email newsletters. You can build a community in a variety of different ways where, people know that, okay, when they are part of that group, like you're going to speak to them, you're going to assist them to the best of your ability. So groups are a really great way for you to build community, so you can get that love and connection and feed into the needs of your consumers. Okay, then the need for growth. Okay, so again, I believe this feeds into this this strategy, because like I said, the scope of my business is very synergistic in nature. I'm not just telling you, hey, do A, B, and C, do this for your social media and you're just gonna win like that. I am bringing you value through saying, hey, you need to work on your motivation, you need to put in the work, you need to be persistent, you need to be confident. So I'm growing you as an individual and not just your business. And so growing the individual to become a better entrepreneur, not just the business. But I am growing your business through like providing you with marketing concepts through marketing. And look, from what I have found, the reason why I decided to service you is because I've been in that startup phase. I've been in network marketing. I've been in that influencer space. And, I essentially failed at that because I wasn't focused on the marketing. I did not know how to do the marketing for those businesses, So when I decided to come up with this scope and create like a full scope for my scope, I really wanted to service you because I understand where you are. I've been there, I've dealt with that, and I know it can be so difficult when you're always receiving this technical advice, but it's not feeding all of the other things that you do need in order to become an entrepreneur and in order to seed in entrepreneurship. Yeah, like I said, so when I decided to leave that space, I went full on into marketing because I realized through research and reading and all of that marketing is literally the #1 factor that contributes to the success of a business. So you can be the prettiest person, the best influencer, the best speaker, the best network marketer, but if you do not know how to market yourself properly, your business is going to fail 100%. That's what happened to me. I've got no shame in that. And that is why, I know exactly what it is you're going through, and I've learned how to, get out of that. So yeah, you will grow through this experience, definitely. Okay, and then finally, the need for contribution. So the one example that I like to talk about when I think of this is, I'm not sure if you've heard of the company Tom's. So they sell these ugly ass shoes, but like they say, if you buy a pair of shoes, they contribute, like they're going to give a pair to like someone in Africa who doesn't have shoes at all. So, their customers know that by working with them, they are contributing to something even bigger, even better. So, it feeds into that need for contribution. And I do not have a, right now. I don't have any sort of like sponsorship, charity work going for you. So I'm sorry, that is literally the only place where I will 100% fail in the psychology of consumers section. And look, like I said, you don't have to touch on every one of those. Like if you just have searching variety and the love and connection, that is perfect, you know, that is good enough. You're touching on the needs, at least some of the needs, 3 out of 6, that is good enough, you know. So I'm very proud of myself for figuring out how I'm touching on 5 of those human needs. So yeah, so let me just say not applicable. And you know, that can be something that I work on in the future, perhaps have like a little fund going for startups. Yeah, that would be nice. Start a fund for startups, so that we know that whenever I receive a customer, like I can say 10% or 20% goes to that fund and going to fund a startup that is struggling, you know, something like that. Yeah, I'll think about it further, but that could work. That sounds beautiful. Okay, so let's say not applicable just yet, so that I know that I have to work on it. But yeah, that brings us to the end of psychology of consumers. So you know, you can work on this all on your own right now. You can figure out how can you better serve your consumers, and hey, if you do not know how, come along, we can help you. We got you. Okay, then exceptional content, my favorite part. Okay, so exceptional content, that is the last section of scope. So yeah, that's the E. Let's get into it. So exceptional content, and look, I kind of had to play with the words for the whole scope, but also like your content can't, like you can't just be creating average content. Like it does not matter how much content you create on social media. If it sucks, like it just sucks. And that is why I had to make like sure that I say you have to be creating exceptional content, because that is what's going to drive this is what's going to drive engagement. And you know, you need to create content that elicits emotion and it provides value to your customers. So either one of those can either elicit emotion, so they see your videos of your, you know, network marketing beauty products and they're like, OMG, I want to be that gorgeous as well. Or they like you show them, like you provide them with fashion tips if you are an influencer, and you're like, OMG, I can definitely apply that to my life next time. So it needs to either elicit emotion or provide like value and education, or even a combination of both, you know, if you are able to do that. So for example, if you are selling a health product, for instance, you can create emotion with that and you can bring value with that. I remember when I was like still an influencer, I was doing like health blogging. Good days, good times. But yeah, now I am with Alaking Creatives and the scope, my business marketing consultations, and I am on LinkedIn for that. So the tough part about Alaking Creatives is the fact that, especially with my LinkedIn, I've got the personal brand. Like I said, I've got the personal brand. I've got Alaking Creatives as the business. And then I've got these 2 separate products or solutions that I'm offering, which is the scope, my business, and the done for you services, which I call the smart and ambitious marketing. So it is quite tough when it comes to like creating content, but we don't make excuses. Okay, we find ways to work around this thing. So when it comes to my LinkedIn, especially for scope my business, so I've got the company page, so company page, the main feed, and this is where I create content touching on different marketing elements and themes. So it's day to day, so every day during the week. I provide educational content, and this is in the form of video, images, and text. So I've already created an outline of how I'm going to do that and all of that, and if we work together, I can do the same for you as well. Okay, so I've got the company page where the main feed, we provide daily content in forms of video, images, and text. And then I've got the stories. Okay, so stories right now, like, because the LinkedIn page is still growing, like doing stories to my company page kind of feels pointless because nobody sees it. So I do post content to my personal page, but it is a mixture of business and motivation, because I'm very motivational in nature. So if you check out my personal LinkedIn profile, it's literally just more motivation than marketing. intentionally, I enjoyed like doing motivational talks and all of that. So I think this year I am going to push myself to do more stories. So what can my stories be about? My day-to-day life? Oh, that's going to be tough. I hate talking about my day-to-day life, hey? That's literally the main reason why I'm not on like Instagram and just taking pictures of me doing cute things. Like, that's that kind of stuff kind of bores me. I like doing the work and not showing everyone that I'm doing the work. Like, just show you the results at the end of the day. But I'm going to have to think of stories. So instead of the personal, also I'm looking to hire this year. I'm thinking of, you know, hiring more staff. So perhaps they'll be, you know, more keen to be on stories, talking about what they're doing, type of vibes. Yeah. Okay, so once we hire more people, they'll be in charge of stories. Of creating stories about their work. So it can either be like a 20-second video talking about what they are doing, or it can be an image where they share a tip, for instance, a marketing tip. Yeah, and it's always going to be based on like what they are doing. So I'm looking to hire like a content strategist. I'm looking to hire a videographer, an editor. I'm looking to hire marketing consultants to help me with scope. Once things starts getting like really hectic. So like, in as much as they'll be sharing a marketing tip, it's based on their context. So, you know, they don't have to talk about videos if they are consultants type of vibes. They have to talk about content when they are like doing, what you call it, if they're a community manager or something like that. So yeah, if you are looking to work at Alaking Creatives, you will have to be ready to put in the work and do stories, for instance. Okay, so if you've got a company, if you're a startup, if you're a solopreneur, you will have to figure out ways in which you can, you know, create stories. It doesn't have to be you creating the videos yourself. It can be, like I said, it can be an image with a tip. You can be talking about some of your other content. So you can talk about your blog post, for instance, share a story, say, hey guys, I've just dropped another blog, go check it out. But it has to be strategically positioned. And when we like with this one, so you know, I've got my team is going to be creating either videos or images, and they're going to either talk about what they're doing in the video, or they're going to share an image with the marketing tips. So it still has to be strategic, and it still has to be like, you know, well thought out, so that when you are actually distributing the content, you don't have to sit and think like, what am I going to post on my stories today type of vibes. You already know from the scope that we're working on that, okay, this is what I have to post to my stories. And like I said, like, people love variety, so you don't have to just talk about your other content the whole time. You can't just say, okay, I'm creating an image and then distribute that image to your stories. Like, it has to be something a little different in your stories that, you know, they can only find in your stories, so to speak. Okay, then the next thing for the company page is I did articles, and I need to get back onto that right now. So articles, I wrote one article, and it was for the scope of my business. So when I was like first starting out, and then I just dropped it after that. I was like, it's not driving engagement like I thought it would. But, you know, I know for a fact that you need to push yourself either way, but it's not driving engagement at the beginning. Eventually these things catch momentum. I've seen that with my personal LinkedIn page. Like, guys, when I started out, like, it was ridiculous. Like, people weren't even looking at my stuff type of vibe. So it does take time, and you build on that. So don't come into this thinking that, you know what, as soon as tomorrow helps you create that scope strategy, you're just going to post one post on Instagram and you're going to become Insta famous. It takes time, okay? It takes time. And the great thing about, like I said at the beginning, LinkedIn and TikTok, you can get a whole lot of organic traffic on those two platforms right now, especially if you're creating really good content. Whereas with Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, even if you are creating exceptional content, it is difficult for you to, you know, to actually gain like a lot of people checking your stuff out without you paying for ads. So if you are looking to, you know, be on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, please set aside a budget of at least 5,000 Rand per month, where you'll be like, okay, so I want to be on Instagram, I want to be on Twitter, but you tell yourself that I'm going to pay because I want what I want type of vibes. Whereas if you can't afford it, LinkedIn, TikTok, you're going to explode. Okay, so creating articles. So what I did last time was I would create an article. So the idea that I had, and like the first one was create an article based on like one sort of theme and one topic that I know that my target audience is struggling with. So what was the last one I created? The first and last one I created was based on the fact that I know that people struggle with the fact that they think that they can post one thing and they're going to explode, whereas when it comes to content marketing and all of that, it takes time to build like virality, so to speak. It takes time for people to actually start seeing your stuff a lot and engaging with it. And no, it's just encouraging people to, you know, stick it out type of vibes, because it gets better. So I like that idea. So post one idea that I know my audience is struggling with. So it can be confidence, fear, can be something like, you know, not knowing how to write. So it can be something as technical as that, like writing hacks, and then sharing tips on how to overcome those. How to overcome those challenges or struggles or whatever. Okay, so it's gonna be a long, crazy year, but we got this. Okay, so what else? So we've got the live. So right now my live is called the WWACD, or What Would Alaking Creatives Do? So it's literally sharing content around the fact, like I check out different businesses and different digital technology, see what they are doing wrong, and pretty much say, okay, how would I fix that if the company would hire me, so to speak. So it's quite fun, but like, yeah, I am tired of that ish. So I'm looking to go live now with the whole King Talks idea. And I need to start reaching out to other marketers, because I want to be doing, like, I want to collaborate with them. Okay, so reaching out to other marketers. And that's another great thing about LinkedIn, is the fact that you are able to connect with people within your niche. So you're able to connect with other influencers, you're able to connect with other network marketers, you're able to connect with other digital marketers. Like probably a third of the individuals on my LinkedIn are within the marketing space, so marketing, digital marketing, social media, content creators, and all of that. So it is really a great way for you to be able to reach out to those people quite easily. Like with Instagram, for instance, it's going to be difficult to try and figure out what that other person is doing, whereas with LinkedIn, like, they've got their details on their profile. So reaching out to them for collaboration, either for your podcast, webinar, or just a video series, is so much easier. So that's just another great tip for you. Okay, so reaching out to other marketers and collaborating with them. Okay, so like I said, I want to start all of this whole King Talks-ish and this whole scope my business officially for from April, because right now I'm kind of finishing up some of the content that I've been working on from last year. I'm finishing up that first educational hub experience, which was like pretty much a tester to see, okay, is this going to work? And honestly, I think it is working brilliantly. Like I started the Alaking Creatives educational hub page on like at the beginning of the year, and it's already grown to 43 followers organically. Like, I'm not telling anyone to like I'm not sending out private messages to people like, hey, please follow my page type of vibes. Like I did that like for like a couple of weeks and I was like, this is not working. So like I just posted on my feed and was like, hey guys, this is what I'm talking about this week. If you're interested in this topic, please go check out my company page. So I've literally grown the company page organically, so to speak, through my personal page. So I'm really happy, super chuffed about that. Whereas last year I tried to grow organically like the previous company page that I had, and like I got to like from April to December sorry, from April to December I only managed to get 50 followers, whereas with this year, like it's only been like literally what, 2 months and I'm already on 43. So I'm thinking it's going to be a good year, and I like the fact, and I think that the content is exceptional for my audience. They really do appreciate and enjoy it, and I think that's another thing that caught on, whereas last year I was still testing things out. And like I said, like that's why I love working with you, because you are startups, you are individuals that are just trying to start out and figure out this whole content thing. So I understand it can get difficult. I understand that it can get like, it can affect your confidence when you are posting something and nobody engages with it. I completely understand that, and because I've been there. I've been there multiple times before, but you've got to keep pushing through. You just have to. There's no two ways about it if you're trying to build a business. Okay, so I've got the live, the main feed, got the stories, got the articles, got the live. I'm going to hold off still on creating a group because like I said, I feel like my company page is sort of like a community on its own, so I don't really see the need to create like a separate group. But yeah, that is the exceptional content for Alaking Creatives. And so like I explained, that I've got the done for you services, so all of the content for that service is going to be exclusively on my YouTube right now, instead of like, whereas last year I had like, you know, a mixture of everything on LinkedIn, a mixture of everything on YouTube. So I'm just going to have to think like for the longer videos, how are we going to distribute them and all of that? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We always do, don't we, T? So I can either, for instance, still have the content on my LinkedIn, my YouTube, for instance, and say, hey guys, go check out like this YouTube playlist, for instance, that is exclusive. Like for instance, the King Talks can be like a YouTube playlist, but like, you know, it is still just for my LinkedIn page, and is related to that. Whereas the content that I'm thinking for the done for you services or the smart and ambitious marketing, it's not going to go on my company page at all. So LinkedIn is going to, not LinkedIn, YouTube is going to host some of the videos for my LinkedIn page, but like they are quite separate. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed watching me do a scope session for Alaking Creatives Scope My Business one-on-one consultations. And like I said, like you can pretty much do this all on your own, like a lot of things, except for the convenience as an ROI. Yeah, I think that was a little sneaky of me. Like you will not be able to get that anywhere else, because it was so difficult for me to get that information as well. So like, but everything else you're able to, you know, do this on your own. At least the 6 months framework, like start with that, create a 6 months framework for your business, and like, you know, push yourself to just create one product or solution, market it to one target audience through one traffic source using one conversion method, and providing them with one valuable piece of content that you're going to post either daily or weekly, and doing all of this for 1 year. And like that is literally all you have to do just to get you started, and I can guarantee you that you are going to grow in your business, whatever it is that you may be selling. But yeah, if you do need my assistance please feel free to reach out to me. I will share, this is probably it's going to go on my YouTube. I will be sharing this to my LinkedIn company page and personal profile as well. And if you're watching this, I'll be sharing the link to where you can get a hold of my services either in the comments or the description. So please go check it out, and I honestly look forward to working with you. Check out my company page, Alaking Creatives. I think it's called the Digital Marketing Educational Hub. Yeah, so just search Alaking Creatives Digital Marketing Educational Hub. It should pop up just by typing Alaking Creatives. But yeah, I look forward to educating with you and building community with you. Cheers for now, guys.